C'est un grand honneur pour moi, mais je vais continuer en anglais. Honorable MP, Excellencies, Executives, I would like to begin by congratulating the organizers of this successful event and thank them for giving me this opportunity to address such a distinguished audience. I am asked to talk about investment and economic opportunities in Turkey as a G20 country. And I'll just start by giving some few figures on that. Turkey being the 17th largest economy in the world, 6th largest in Europe, and the fastest growing economy among the OECD, offers significant opportunities in business. Turkish government has been pursuing sound macroeconomic strategies, prudent fiscal and monetary policies, and realized structural reforms. Despite the turmoil in the region, in the adjacent regions, Turkey has enjoyed constant and sustainable growth. We have recorded 5% GDP growth in the first quarter of 2017 and an average growth rate of 7.1% between 2011 and 2015. GDP growth is higher than the market consensus of 3.8%. GDP per capita has increased to $10,807 in 2016, and purchasing power parity GNI per capita passed $19,917. Turkey also contributes to global economic development through its G20 membership, and development was high on our agenda during Turkey's G20 presidency in 2015. We currently hold the chairmanship of MICTA, which is a partnership that brings together Mexico, Indonesia, Republic of Korea, Australia, and Turkey. Taking this opportunity, I would like to also stress Turkey's achievements in strengthening the middle class and improving the annual disposable incomes of our citizens. In 2002, over 21 million people were considered to be poor in Turkey, with disposable income per capita being below $5,000. However, in 2016, this figure dropped to 3 million individuals. The middle class with disposable income of $10,000 to $25,000 has grown from just below 18 million to over 40 million in the same period. Government's measures such as employment campaign and improving SMEs' capacity to access to finance yielded positive results in the economy in the first quarter of 2017. Thanks to these measures, both capacity utilization rate and business confidence index improved in 2017. Likewise, industrial production and purchasing orders in the first and second quarters continued to rise. According to IHS Markit's latest Purchasing Managers Index report, manufacturing operating conditions in Turkey improved. The improvement is mainly driven by the fastest gain in new orders since February 2011. Additionally, PMI rose to 54.7% and registered at its 43-month high. Turkey has attracted around 180 billion FDI foreign direct investment over the past 15 years. Since early 2000s, it has embarked on a comprehensive reform agenda that has resulted in robust FDI inflows. Thus, in overall, Turkey has outperformed many Eastern European countries. In the last 10 years, mega projects amounting to $250 billion were completed, including big-scale energy and infrastructure investments, like the third bridge between Europe and Asia, as well as the third airport in Istanbul, which will be the biggest in Europe. Such projects will continue, and there are other successful Turkish projects ongoing. On the other hand, Turkish entrepreneurs are also encouraged to increase their investments in overseas markets, including Canada. Turkish Airlines, being one of the biggest Turkish companies successfully investing and operating in Canada, for example, was the main sponsor of Montreal Jazz Festival for the past 2 years. According to Turkish Exporters Assembly, Turkey recorded 12.1 billion of exports in June 2017. The latest figures mean that Turkey enjoys 8 months of continuous growth in exports. Total exports in the first half of 2017 increased by 8.4% when compared to the same period of 2016 and reached to $76.4 billion. Germany, UK and Italy became Turkey's largest export markets in the first half of 2017. Total export to these markets was more than $15.8 billion, and that is approximately 1/4 of Turkey's total exports. According to UN World Tourism Organization, international tourist arrivals to Turkey grew by 4.4% on a yearly basis. Turkey is currently the 6th most popular tourist destination in the world, attracting more than 31 million tourists in 2016. Istanbul Atatürk Airport has become the biggest air hub in Europe by hosting 61 million passengers traveling through in 2015, surpassing the John Fitzgerald Kennedy Airport and Frankfurt. And Istanbul is the second city after New York with the highest number of resident consulate generals. This shows that it has become a center of commerce in between regions. We know that there have been terrorist attacks at many tourism centers in the world at last year, and Turkey has also taken its share. However, we have been able to prevent major attacks thanks to the additional operations and measures we have taken since the end of 2016. But a major attack took place on 15th of July 2016 by a terror organization called Fethullahist Terror Organization, which was nesting within the army and other public agencies. Members of this terror group attempted a military coup using a tiny fraction of the army with fighter jets, tanks and helicopters, which was immediately foiled by the Turkish people in one day. And Turkish economy successfully passed this great test as well. Financial markets continued to operate in a normal manner after the coup attempt. Just the other day, there has been no negative impact on the real economy, which is a significant proof of the strength and resilience of the Turkish economy in general. So Turkey, in a nutshell, is a safe country to travel, invest and to do business. And finally, a few words and figures on the Turkey-Canada bilateral trade. There is a tremendous untapped potential in trade and investments between Turkey and Canada, which must be mutually explored further. Trade between our two countries has been stable around 2.4 billion Canadian dollars for the past 3 years. Our bilateral trade stands at around 800 million Canadian dollars in the first half of this year. It reflects approximately 10% increase when compared to the same period last year. We hope this positive trend will continue. The main fields of cooperation between Canada and Turkey are mining, agriculture, infrastructure, energy and telecommunication. We aim to further increase our trade, cooperation and investments in these fields. We are working to further advance trade and investment between Canada and Turkey via bilateral contacts. We were pleased to host Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in his first overseas visit to the G20 summit in Turkey in November 2015, followed by Minister Stefan Dion in his visit to Istanbul in February 2016. And likewise, many ministers from Turkey visited Canada this year. Also, high-level business delegations from Turkey continue to visit Canada this year. After the visits of the Presidents of Foreign Economic Relations Board, Istanbul Chamber of Commerce, and the Union of Chambers of Commodity Exchanges of Turkey, headed by their presidents respectively, and held meetings in Ottawa, Montreal and Toronto. These visits will continue. Finally, the signing of a free trade agreement between our two countries is one of our most important goals. The exploratory talks of new generation and comprehensive free trade agreement between two countries were successfully completed 3 years ago, and the opening of the negotiations awaits the decision of the Canadian government. When we take steps further on this matter, I believe it will be another boost to our bilateral trade. I wish you all a successful conference. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.